Hello, my name is Jeff Peterson with Petersen Physical Therapy. Today we're going to talk about tension headaches and how it can impact you and how you might be able to at least ease some of that pain. If any of this information is helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. And just smash that like button as many times as you can, because that helps us get the information out to people who might benefit from it. So talking about tension headaches, implied in the name is the term tension. So one of the most important things with tension headaches is to identify where the tension is, but also as best you can, what's causing the tension. If I'm dealing with a person who's late on their rent, who's just about to get fired, has a life that is completely out of control, there is no one exercise to control that kind of tension. So the first thing is to know yourself a little bit and to get honest, have the courage to get honest. Are there some things causing tension that I can either eliminate or avoid in my life? Now, as far as mechanical tension, the most likely cause of that is repetitive activities and posture. So if you do something at work where you're sitting at the computer all day long, that's a repetitive activity, but it's a sustained and static posture. So we're going to talk about posture and how to improve that. If you're working production and you do the same activity over and over again, where you're reaching, even if the weight isn't heavy, that repetitive activity can cause tension in your upper trapezius muscle and into your neck and into the front. So we'll share some of that in pictures of that later. But all right, so we've invited Karime to be a model to show the different types of posture. Karime is a second-year PT student at Creighton University. So she's going to be one of the profession. She's worked with us over the years, and Karime is awesome. She's going to be an awesome physical therapist. She was an awesome technician, and she's kindly agreed to work with us. So I want to first talk about posture, and then we're going to talk about how to identify the tension in where the tension is. So if Karime would turn sideways for me. So you can see Karime has a really nice kind of gentle curve here and maybe a little flattening in the lumbar spine, and then her neck is not forward, her head is not forward. Okay, now Karime, you stay there. I want you to look at my posture in comparison to hers. So you stay right where you are, so we're back to back. And just look at the difference. If you look at the difference, you can see my shoulders are a little more forward, my thoracic spine is a little more flexed, and my head comes forward. So I have to work really hard on my posture. Okay, thank you. So the first thing we want to do is say, well, how do I work on my posture? We want to identify, well, where is the tension? So what I always recommend is to people to try the one pose that I can do in yoga. You ever do yoga?
A few times.
Yes. And you know the one pose, my favorite pose? The corpse pose, because you literally just lie like you're dead. So we're going to have you do that for us right over here. Okay, so the first thing, it's called Shavasana, I believe. I'm not sure. Close enough, I guess. John's giving me the, yeah, close enough. I've heard it called the corpse pose, but what we want to do is lie down. And when she lies down with her hands here, when your hands are up here, do you feel any tension in your shoulders? No. When she's here, I can see that her humerus is coming forward just a little bit. So then the next thing you do is you come here and see if you feel any tension. Now, if I lie down like this, all the tension I feel is in my shoulders and in my upper back, because that's where I'm forward and tight. So I usually lie in this position for 2-3 minutes until I feel myself stretch out. But I know that that's where my tightness is. So it's not enough for me just to pull my head back. You know, people say, stand up straight, pull your head back. Well, you want to stretch the part that's tight. Now, Karime has really good posture, so you're not feeling any tightness anywhere. Mm-hmm. So Karime is a person, when we look at mobility works on a continuum. So there is a joint that is fused, either surgically or because of trauma. There's a joint that's pathologically unstable, which needs bracing or surgery, and then ideally we're in the middle. So it's also true with what they call the stress-strain curve. The stress-strain curve is they stress tissue, and as they stress tissue, you see it grow and elongate, but it gets to the point where it just fractures and it fails. So our bodies are designed, when you apply stress to the system, it's the same way. Too much stress and you're going to have failure, either emotionally or physically. Not enough stress, you're going to have atrophy, either emotionally or physically. So Karime is more mobile, I'm more stiff. Either one of us can be subject to tension headaches. So let's have you sit up here, please, right on this corner. Okay, so tension headaches, the muscle that's most commonly involved is the trapezius muscle, and particularly the upper trap. The trapezius muscle is a really long muscle. It literally starts down here in your thoracic spine, goes all the way up to where your skull is and out to your shoulder. And it's uniquely innervated to respond to stress. It's part of the fight or flight response. Have you ever been startled and your shoulders come up? Well, what's happening is you're getting prepared to either fight or run. And so this can be a problem. And when you don't fight or run and you just sit and get immobilized, because that's another part of the fight or flight response, is just immobilization, then this muscle continues to get tighter and you can get headaches right up in here. So if you have posture, so stick your chin out for me, please, and really come on. If you have that forward head posture and that rounded shoulder, what's happening is now I'm stretching that muscle. It's already responsive to stress and it's in a weakened position. And this becomes a recipe for pain and dysfunction and discomfort. Okay, so we're going to talk about, well, how do you handle that? Well, the first thing we talked about is identifying the stresses in your life. And if you can eliminate them, eliminate them. If you can avoid them, avoid them. We all have some measure of control over the stress that we put ourselves in. The second thing is looking at your posture. And now we're going to talk about some exercise to gently work that upper trapezius muscle, gently improve your posture.